Gambang. So the topic for today would be electrocardiogram-based person identification using Smart Textile. So the keyword here is person identification, which talks more about biometric. Yeah. So biometric is where you actually identify a person, try to recognize a person. And in our case here, we would use the electrocardiogram. What is electrocardiogram? It is actually the heart signal. Your heart signal will be used to actually identify, recognize a person. But how do we recognize it? We use Smart Textile. What is a Smart Textile? Smart Textile is a garment which you wear on your body, which can actually measure, acquire your ECG signal to perform biometric. So that's the gist of today's talk. Okay. All right. This will be the content of our talk today. Brief biodata, the background, the brief history of my kuliah, my faculty, basic terminologies, which is biometric, ECG, and Smart Textile. ECG biometric technology using Smart Textile, research findings, challenges, way forward, and reflection. So I will not take a long, a long time. I would just be maybe 45 minutes to 1 hour, and we'll go for Q&A. All right. So I got my bachelor's in IIM in 2004, my master's of engineering, bachelor's in computer information engineering. And then I did my Masters of Engineering in UKM, University Kebangsaan Malaysia, in Computer Communication and Systems. At the same time, I did my postgraduate diploma in IIUM. The same year, I did my Islamic River Knowledge, IRK. And later, I did my PhD in RMIT University Australia, Melbourne, Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology. And alhamdulillah, I got my PhD in 2014. So my research area is biological signal analysis, pattern recognition, and biometric recognition. Currently, I am the Dean of the Kuliah of Engineering. So in Arabic, we call it Kuliah, but in English, we call it Faculty, Faculty of Engineering of the university. So, and I'm a senior lecturer at the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. A brief history of our Kuliah, established in 1994 with only 3 academic programs and situated in Lembah Pantai, Kuala Lumpur. If you know Lembah Pantai near to University Malaya, the place that had a flood, I think, few days ago. The entrance to the main gate. Yeah. So usually, previously they had a roundabout in front of that gate. So if you are at the roundabout out of University Malaya, you should go to the left of the roundabout around 11 o'clock. So you reach to our place. That was in 1994. But in 1997, we moved to this current Gombak campus, comprising of 7 buildings situated in the foothill of the Gombak hillside. We have the dam, the Klangit Dam, not very far from our place, Empangan. So of course we have 7 engineering departments. And alhamdulillah, we just celebrated our 30th anniversary this year, 2024, with a lot of programs and initiatives. And we have 8 newly revised academic programs with 203 academic staffs and 89 non-academic staff. So these people are under my supervision, and currently we cater around 2,200 undergraduates and 316 postgraduate students from different countries. So we have a lot of students from different countries. If you want to see people from different countries, you can come to IIUM. We have from Bosnia, we have from Australia, from US, from UK, Pakistan, Bangladesh, China, and so on and so forth. All right. So these are the academic programs which are available in our kuliah: chemical engineering and sustainability, civil engineering, electrical and computer engineering, which I reside as a senior lecturer here, manufacturing and materials engineering, mechanical and aerospace engineering, mechatronics engineering, and science in engineering. So these are the academic departments available in this faculty, this kuliah. This is the layout of the kuliah. We have the 7 buildings, and we are the largest kuliah, the largest faculty in Gombak. Okay, huge. And actually now I'm in the office because I wanted a good internet connection. So I'm somewhere here. Somewhere here. Okay. All right. Then the rest are buildings for the other types of programs. So also we have, besides undergraduate, we have postgraduate, mixed mode, masters, and in chemical, electrical, manufacturing material, mechatronics. Also we have coursework that was previously was mixed mode, coursework, and also PhD lah, PhD. Doctor of Philosophy. We do have also research activities. We have research groups and centers. For example, we do have second one. This is the famous one, Center for Unmanned Technologies. We call it CUTE. Comel. In Malay, we call it Comel, kan? CUTE. So this center, we have engaged with a lot of industries, and we have done a lot of industrial projects. And we engage with students as well to become the final year project for them, master's project, PhD project, and so on and so forth. So, and with the industry. And we do have other groups, for example, like bioenvironmental, electric mobility. In electric mobility, we do have a coaster that we actually convert the combustion engine to electrical engine, electrical vehicle. It's 100%. We have it here. And the rest, of course, are mechatronic and so on and so forth. Autonomous robotics, VLSI, health, microwave, renewable photonics, software, and wireless, and so on and so forth. Right. Strategic partners and collaborators, yes, we do have around the globe: Turkey, India, Indonesia, Thailand, Taiwan, Canggung. So yesterday I had a meeting with I had a Senate meeting, the highest meeting in the university. We are proposing a dual degree with MCUT, Taiwan. MCUT is owned by a semiconductor company in Taiwan, the largest, and we are going to do a double degree with them. Approved by Senate yesterday, and inshallah, I will be sending students to Taiwan for double degree. So it means that 2 years they will be here in our campus. 2 years later, third year and fourth year, they will be in Taiwan. Also, the rest, of course, Petronas is normal for and the rest, Nahrim, yeah, I think, yeah, France. We send students to France, France, Limoges. I think it's not here. University of Limoges. We have sent students for 10 years, for already 10 years. Students, they go there for mobility. They take courses there for 1 semester, around 4 to 5 courses. For example, digital signal processing, signal and systems, whatever, they have to pass because it's counted, it's credited mobility. So they will be there for 1 semester. We have done that for 10 years, sending them to France. We also have mentors from the industry. Alhamdulillah, currently we have 2, Tun Haji Mukhtar. Now he is a doctor. He just recently passed his Viva. Dr. Mukhtar bin Suhaili. He's the group CEO of EPIC. EPIC is an oil and gas company of the state of Terengganu. So he is also our alumni. And also we have Mr. Ahmad Rafiq, also our alumni from Intel, Penang. So he's the director of Intel Validation Engineering. So he is responsible of validating all the designs in Intel. He's the boss. He's in charge of Intel Penang, Intel Mexico, Intel San Francisco. And yeah, both of them are our proud alumni. We have also another one coming, industry mentor for civil engineering. So for Dr. Mokhtar, he's from mechatronic, attached to the Department of Mechatronic, and Mr. Marafiq attached to the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. Yeah. Our recent achievement of the faculty, the Kuliah, we just on the left hand side, you can see that's our president, Tan Sri Samsudin Osman, and that's me on the right hand side receiving the award. We were awarded the best Kuliah, the best faculty in IIUM this year in our quality day. for our outstanding in actualizing IIM mission through humanizing education. On the right-hand side, we are the most active alumni chapter. We do engage with our alumni to do a lot of programs and initiatives. Yeah, that's all about our kuliah. So if you want to collaborate with us, please do so. Contact me anytime. All right, let's go back to our topic for today, which is ECG, based person identification using Smart Textile. Let's go a little bit background in the national level, where in this country we have a program called Malaysia's National Digital Identity, or NDID. So this is actually in line with the country's agenda of digitalization. Kan? You know that there's internet, kan, digital device penetration rate across the society, business and government. So we do have this blueprint as well, called the Malaysia Digital Economy Blueprint 2021, that says that this is in 2021. Imagine 2024. So 90% of us household have internet connection. 135.4% have mobile cellular penetration, because I believe some of us have two phones, kan? Ada dua telefon. I don't know why. Maybe, of course, because of work reason and personal. But I only have one phone here for me. All right. And 93.1% of the population use smartphone to access the internet. And of course, 70.2% uses 4G. Now we are talking about 5G, but we have not got the rate. Maybe we can get the rate, but for 4G, I think it's more than that now. Kan? It's already 2024. In addition, you can see that 66% of internet users use mobile banking, and 144 e-payment transaction per capita per year, and 90% of government services are available online. So we are very into it in digitalization, where we use a lot of the services. COVID-19 pandemic has accelerated the adoption of digital devices and services globally, and Malaysia is no exception. The country saw a dramatic increase in the digital space, where 82, you can see that all the statistics that I got this from the NDID program, Frost and Sullivan white paper in conjunction with NEC. You can see the source down there. 84.2% of population using internet, 99.2. So COVID-19 accelerated this. 96 and so on and so forth. 32% using tablet devices. And 86% of the population active on social media networks. That's the good news. But of course, you have this side of the story. Due to this, we have a lot of cybercrime cases. Yeah. For example, 97 written here, 67. Sorry. 1,552 crime cases, where you have e-commerce scams and investment scams, and we could see the drastic increase of commercial scams between these 2 years. This is just these 2 years. Maybe it also increased in the year 2022, 23, and even 2024, which these 2 years just amount of more than 5.2 billion in loss. And it continues to rise in online scam from year to year. And also the security incidents in Malaysia also increased significantly, from, of course, January to August here, compared to a total of 517 in 2020. So we have increase of everything due to digitalization. So identity theft, cases increase as well. So out of 8 people are suspected the identity to be stolen, and out of 14 people know for sure that their identity is being stolen. So sometimes for example, like me, I'm not talking about anyone else. I'm receiving calls from, I don't know who calls me, says that and he knows my name, he knows everything about me, my identification number, my kad pengenalan, IC number, and he's pretending that he does not know, and he said he's selling something, you know, and so on and so forth. He's trying to pitching. He's trying to pitch. Yeah, we know it's a serious issue of this identity theft. So it's a burgeoning issue. Gaining unauthorized access to computer network tends to compromise the system, and it could cause disastrous consequence for the individual and even the nation if identity theft is, is not solved. So it is to the extent of taking down communication networks, paralyzing transportation systems, and crippling power grids. It can be to that extent of if we get access to the network. If security are burdensome, people may avoid using them, preferring functionality and convenience. For these reasons, an alternative or complementary effective security mechanism needs to be deployed in combating identity crimes. So therefore, one of the viable solution for the issue would be using biometric technology. Okay? We'll go to the what is biometric later. As you can see in this figure, I'm sorry if it's not clear. I'm really sorry. You can see that it is a figure about the global biometric solutions spending forecast by the region from 2021 to 2030. And you can see in North America, in the Europe, in Asia Pacific, it increases. Yeah. So the CARG is also, sorry, CAGR, or the compound annual growth rate, which measures the investment amount annual growth rate over a period of time, increases. And you can see the majority, if you go to 2030, would be from the North America, Europe, and Asia Pacific. So that covers 40%. And it is a rising field, which is biometric globally. And you can see here from Frost and Sullivan forecast that in, for example, in Canada, in Australia, in the Philippines, in Estonia, United Kingdoms, and in India, they invest a lot in biometrics. Yeah. So, for example, in Canada, they have this government-led digital identity, so super cluster bit they call it. In Australia, MyGov ID. In Philippines, the Philippines, PhilSys. In Estonia, EID. In the UK, gov.uk. And Verify program is called. And in India, I think you've heard of this India, kan? India initiative. It's a countrywide initiative. Unique Identity Authority, Aadhaar initiative. So you can see that there's potential investment in digital identity management for globally for around 79.92 billion USD. So in the recent years, so I will jump straight away to ECG. Okay, in the recent decades, the electrocardiogram, or ECG we call it, has been seen as a potential biometric modality to overcome issues of current available biometric attributes. Falsified by gum. What are the issues? Falsification by gummy fingerprints, static iris and face images, voice mimics, and fake signatures. For example, falsified by gummy fingerprints. If you go to cafes and you want to, get someone's fingerprint, you can get it from his or her glass. When he leaves the place, you go to his or her glass and you can get it, the fingerprint marks, and you can create a gummy fingerprint. Also, previously we had the static iris and face images where we could fool the system. Voice mimics, now it's more obvious, where you can use AI to mimic someone's voice, which is very dangerous now. For you, if someone wants to do character assassination, it's really easy. And I can see in YouTube's, and now people are selling products mimicking other people's voice. But when we try to confront these people, they say, no, it's not my voice, it's AI generated. And fake signatures, of course. So we have these issues. So that's why we go to biosignals, biological signals, which is in our body. If you talk about fingerprint, if you talk about iris, if you talk about face, if you talk about all this signature, they are some things which are not inside our body. So, right. So we go to the basic terminologies of this research, which is biometric, electrocardiogram, and smart textile. So biometric is, as I said, is the science of establishing the identity of an individual based on the physical, chemical, or the behavioral attributes of the person. Not necessarily being physical, it can become chemical or it can become behavioral attributes. So it provides an airtight security, offers an alternative to traditional method, which is knowledge-based and token-based. What is not knowledge-based? Knowledge-based is what you remember. For example, like passwords. Kan? So, and we do tend to forget our passwords. Okay? And we do tend to have a lot of passwords. Password for your bank, password for your, Gmail, password for your, there's so many things. Okay? I also don't remember mine, and I always press the forget password button. I always do that. Okay? There's also token-based mechanism where we sometimes we lose this. Token-based is like your ID. Like for example, you have an RFID card, and to access a building, and then if you touch that card, you'll be able to access the door. But this kind of mechanism is prone to lose it. Can you misplace these cards, and that's where you will have problem. Okay, so we would want to offer alternative to these two traditional methods, which is knowledge and token based. So it is possible to establish an identity based on who you are rather than by what you possess, such as ID cards, and what you remember, such as your passwords. Okay, so that's where biometric comes in. So we have a biometric guru called Anil K. Jain from the University of Michigan. So in the US, so he was talking about biometric. He had a paper in transaction, IEEE transaction, elaborating about the biometric. So from there, I think it grew not only from fingerprint to other types of biometric. So it introduces incredible convenience for the user, where you don't need to actually remember multiple long and complex, frequently changing password and involved in lost or forgotten ID cards while maintaining a sufficiently high degree of security. So the primary goal in most applications is to prevent unauthorized users from accessing protected resources. All right, so there's two modes of biometrics. One is identification. The other one is called verification. Let's go one by one. So identification mode performs a one-to-many comparison to confirm an individual's identity. It's like this. For example, you are given a sample, you are given a data, and you need to compare with all the data which is available in the database, in the template. So it would require a long time. But of course, with the powerful computing technology now, it would not take a long time. Okay, so one to many. One to many means that I would compare A with B, A with C, A with D, A with E, A with F, A with H. So whatever until it can find a match. Yeah, this is identification. So this is done by searching the templates of all the subject database for a match. So you can say the question would be, whose biometric sample is this? For verification mode, we conduct a one-to-one analysis where we validate whether the claim is genuine or false. For example, let's say you have your phone here. I have my phone here, and I use a face recognition biometric way of entering my phone because I only use the pin. I'm also old school here. I use the pin. So let's say, for example, you use the fingerprint. As you use your face. So we want to verify whether it's Azami. Okay. So I have my data stored in this phone. And I just want to verify that it's the same person. So this is called verification mode or one-to-one. Okay. So it's accomplished by establishing an individual's identity by collating the acquired sample with the data stored in the database. So for example, if you want to ask a question, does this biometric data belongs to John? So we have a specific person, John, we're saying. So if it's not John, no, we cannot enter whatever system that is available there. So two types of mode, identification and verification. So this is the diagram of both. Okay, this is this is the stages. Okay, one, if you can see the first box here, it's called enrollment. It's where you acquire the data from the sensor. Of course, you need a sensor. Any system which would need for example fingerprint or iris or face or even ECG, the heart signal, we need to have a sensor. Of course, the sensor will be different for different types of signals. So for example, here we acquire the data and then we do quality check. Of course, we look at the data, we will check the data, and once it's okay, we would go for extracting the features, which is important. In our case, ECG, we don't normally take all the parts of the ECG. We extract only a few, and later we will actually store it in a template, or we call it a system database. So this is the enrolled stage. So this data will be the training data. We call it in the concept of machine learning. We have a pattern recognition, we have training data, and we have testing data. So both of these two, second box and the third box, are called the testing data, which is the identification stage and the verification stage. If you remember, identification was the one-to-many approach, and verification is the one-to-one approach. Okay, so it does the same thing, of course. The data are acquired by the sensor, and it will do some feature extraction, and later if you want to do identification stage, we'll do one-to-many, and we'll have a matching score in the end. So matching score, the simplest one would be from 0 to 1. Okay, the closest you are to 1, the more related both of these data, which is the training data on the top box and the testing data, which is the middle box. So training and testing, if it is closer to 1, the matching score, it means that they are similar, and they are coming. We highly suspect that it comes from the same person. Okay, so if it's nearing to 0, let's say for example 0.1, we can say that this data is not coming from the same person, maybe two different individuals. Verification will do the same thing, but it's just a one-to-one match. All right, so this is the mathematical equation of identification. As you can see, given an input feature vector xq, which is extracted from the biometric data, and a claimed identity, this is the testing data, determine the IQ where k equals to 1 to n plus 1. So you have the vector here. So in this case, I1 until IN are the identities enrolled in the system, and IN plus 1 represents the reject case where no suitable identity can be determined from the individual. So you can see here from this piecewise, if you are able to match the data, then you will know that this is the claim identity lah. Otherwise, you say it's an imposter. It's not a genuine claim, it's an imposter lah. This is for verification. As you can see, you would use the data which you want to, the claim data, and you would want to match it with the data available in the template. So they measure based on the similarities of XQ and X1, and T is the predefined threshold. So this is two of these formula for identification and verification that we use for biometric. All right, so the matching score normally is a single value and quantifies the similarity between the acquired and the template. Yes, I just said this before this. All right, we have these types of biometric before. our voice, our keyboard kan, voice, our iris, our gait, the way we walk, face, fingerprint. But as I shared with you before, these what are called the first generation biometric. The first generation means that it has existed for a long time. Yeah? And I shared with you just now some of the limitations of this first generation. That's why now people rely on the second generation of biometric, which we use the biological signals. Okay, so these types of biometric, we call it modalities. Modalities. Okay, biometric modalities. So these modalities cannot provide reliable performance in terms of recognition accuracy, such as gait and keystroke, are not robust enough against falsification. As I said, face is sensitive to artificial disguise. Fingerprint can be recreated by latex. Voice is easy to mimic, especially now you have AI generated voices. And iris can be falsified by using contact lenses with copied iris features printed on it. So thus, there's a shift to the second generation of biometric modalities, which involves biological signals. I would not say only ECG is the one biological signal. We have a few. That's why I put here signals. Okay, we have, this is the heart wave. Then we have the brain wave, EEG. We also have the muscle wave, muscle signals, EMG. We have EOG. We have PPG. We have APG. Okay. Why do we select ECG? Because it's the most simplest to obtain. Because if you use EEG, use the brainwave, you need to have that cap wearing on you, and you have to have put the gel sometimes, and you have to place it at the right position, because there's going to be the frontal lobe, the central lobe of your brain, and it will capture the signals, which is a lot. Can you have, if you go to brainwave signals, you have alpha, beta, theta, gamma, delta. Okay, but now ECG, we are just going to get it from your heart, and in our case, using Smart Textile. Okay, so this is a brief about an ECG. What is ECG? ECG is a register of the heart's electrical activity. You can see here, this is your heart in the figure. Heart muscles are electrically stimulated, or we call it activated or excited to contract. So you heard of the word contraction, decontraction, contraction. So if it's contraction, it means that it's pumping your heart. And then it's decontraction, it will release. It's like a sponge. You hold a sponge on your hand, in your hand, you will, you will press. So it's contraction, it's contracted and it decontracted, contracted. So this happens very fast in less than a second, microseconds. So because your heart keeps on pumping, loop, doop, 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 doop. It's not doop, doop. In medical terms, it's called loop, doop, loop, doop, loop, doop, loop, doop. Because why is it loop, doop? Because if you can see on the atria here, on the left-hand side, there's like a door. There's a door, kan? That door is opening, closing, loop, doop, loop, doop, loop, doop. And this electrical stimulated signal is due to our muscle movements, the SA node to the AV node. Kan I think there's a muscle. So that from there we produce the electricity, which is in microvolt. Okay, microvolt. All right. So then you need a sensor, of course, to actually measure those electrical signals. So let's go to the main topic, which is the ECG biometric technology using Smart Textile. Based on pattern recognition operation, we do perform all this, signal acquisition, and then the next. So once we acquire our signal from using the sensor, we would pre-process the signal. Yeah. What do you mean by pre-processing? We do filtering. Yeah. You can use a lot of whatever filters that are suitable for you. discrete wavelet transform, you can use Butterworth filter, you could use Savitsky Golay, Savitsky kan Golay filters, and so on and so forth. All right, to remove the noise. And then once you have the filtered signal, you would do feature extraction. Kan? You would extract features in the ECG signal. So in our case, normally what we do is we only extract the QRS. The QRS. What is meant by Q? There's no long name of Q. It's Q. QRS. It's just an letter of the alphabet. PQRST. Okay. So P is when you have the activation of the atria, and then QRS exists when you have the activation of the ventricles, and the T is the recovery wave, which after the blood has gone from out from your heart, it will, like a sponge, it will expand again. So this is where the T wave is. So from our research, we would see that QRS is most of the time not affected by the process. P sometimes, P would be hindered by noise. T as well would be hindered by noise. All right. So that's why here we extract QRS, and then later we classify using your whatever classification algorithm or whatever classifier which is suitable. So why ECG biometric? Okay, this is a good question. Why ECG biometric? Because it has liveness detection. What is meant by liveness detection? It means that it can verify the presence of a person during the time of recognition. Okay, liveness means that you know that the person is there at that time. If I have this gummy latex, if I have those static images, if I have those voice mimics, I'm not sure that the person is actually in front of that device. Okay, as I said again, of course, if we want to perform biometric, we have to do the first process, which is signal acquisition or data collection. And data collection or signal acquisition is done by using a sensor or a device. So liveness detection will ensure that the person is actually there, present during the time of recognition. So if I have a gummy latex, doesn't mean that the person is there. If I have a voice, I mimic the voice, doesn't mean that the person is there. But for biosignal, it will ensure that the person is there. Okay. Biometric research, of course, we have a lot. It grew a lot for this, I think, more than 20 years or so. People talk about time variability. People talk about research on age variability. People talk about pathological conditions, physiological conditions, and smart textile, which we will talk about in a few slides. Compressed ECG signals, drowsiness detection, low sampling ECG data, biometric on the go. Time variability means, like, for example, I have, would it be different if I would use the ECG, for example, let's have a, simple example. Would it be possible if I have the fingerprint of a person when he was 15 years old compared to when he was 30 years old? If I match it, would it be, that's age variability. Sorry, that's age variability. Time means a different time for 1 week and 1 month, 6 months. Would it actually vary? So that's among the research that has been done. Pathological, your heart condition. For example, a person has some sort of heart diseases, kan? Atrial fibrillation, ventricular tachycardia. There's a lot, there's a lot of these heart diseases. So would it affect the biometric, recognition? Physiological, whether we will move, we sit, we stand, we run, we walk, would it be different? Smart textile, compressed ECG. One of my student, I think she's also here, Farah. She's doing this research on compressed ECG signal. We compress the signal, but we don't decompress. It's like you put data in WinZip, you know WinZip, right? WinRAR or WinZip, that application, but we don't unzip. We zip the data, but we don't unzip. We use the zip data to perform biometric, and she's been able to prove that it works. We just zip the data, and then we do biometric. Because when we zip the data, we will have some hash function, some MD5, whatever. Then we would make it into a more compact and another form. Alhamdulillah, we're able to actually identify the person using that compressed ECG data. Drowsiness, also another of my student, another one, Shahira. She's doing drowsiness, to detect drowsiness using ECG signals. We are developing a prototype of a steering wheel, which we just put our hands on it, and it will be able to detect our ECG signals. Because ECG signals not only can be detected using your chest, kan? You have those electrodes there. It can also be detected using your hands. Yeah? There's points in your hands that you can actually detect the heart signals. Right. Low sampling ECG data. Of course, this is like ambulatory data. In ambulance, they would prefer to use data which have sampling frequency which is lower, and then we need to deal with it. And biometric on the go. It's like it's on the move. So I can perform my biometric anywhere, anytime, at any place. So these are among the research in biometric. I'm not saying this is only the research. There are more than this. But today we are going to discuss about one of it, which is smart textile. Okay, what is smart textile? Smart textile refers to the fabric that are embedded with sensors. So just imagine you are wearing a shirt, like I'm wearing my cloth here, garment here, and it actually has sensors. Yeah, electronics or other functional materials to monitor, measure, and respond to biometric data from the human body. So it's not just you wearing the cloth, kan? That cloth, that garment can measure your vital signs. But in our case, it can measure the heart signal. Yeah? These textiles are capable of collecting physiological information such as your heart rate, your body temperature, your respiratory rate, your muscle activities, and other vital signs in a real time. So this is what we are focusing on this study here in this study. So of course, what's the advantage of using smart textile? You have embedded sensors, comfort and wearability, flexible, lightweight, comfortable, because normally if you want to actually measure your ECG signal, you would have to put it on your chest, kan? All this L1, L2, L3, you have to measure all these things, kan? AVR, all these points there. So those wires there, stretching to the machines. So here you just have to wear like a cloth, a smart textile on you, and it can measure your vital sign. Real monitoring and data processing and transmission. So many smart textiles are capable of wirelessly transmitting the collected data to smartphones, computer, or cloud-based systems for further analysis. So we will explain to you, we'll share with you a few smart textiles, which one would store it, one I think would send to the cloud, one would send to the apps. So there's a few that are available commercially. So in essence, Smart Textile serves as a wearable platform for biometric monitoring, combining the functionality of traditional clothing with advanced sensing technology to enhance health monitoring, athlete performance, and even medical diagnostic. So previously, all this, wearable cloth is only used for athletic performance. But we said that it can be used more than that. It's not only for athletes. It can be used for biometric. It can be used to detect so on and so forth. It is limitless of the application once you know how to use it. So let's go to our research. Okay, our research here, we are actually using two types of uh, devices, Smart Textile, which is called Hexoskin and Hard-In. So with all due respect, I would like to call my student, Muiz, to continue this presentation because I'm trying to expose him. Please, Muiz.
Okay, thank you so much. Assalamualaikum. Thank you so much, Doctor, dear fellow Professor, Mr. Hui and Mr. Sumaran. Thank you so much for this opportunity for me to sharing the information regarding my study. Then, as what Dr. Azami said, that in our research, in our study, we are using two different smart textile that capable of capturing the ECG data, ECG data. One which is the Hexoskin, the one that are from Canada, and another one is the Hard-In. Hard-In is from USA. The Hard-In itself is the Hexoskin is Italy made fabrics, and the Hard-In is from the owner are from the Ukraines, and the company situated in the Silicon Valley in the US. So but without further ado, then we proceed to our next slide.
Okay, as you can see here, I would add that we normally acquire ECG from the body. You can see this guy, this shirtless guy, we have to put a lot of electrodes. So in the case of Smart Textile, we don't need to, we just have to wear the garment. Okay, Muiz.
Okay, all right. Usually, previously, many previous study usually are focusing on when using the wearable smart textile, they are capturing those data for athlete performance, to using the position of the electrode, the suitable position of the electrode on the textile, and so on. Not many are focusing on the biometric, but by the data that captured by the smart textile. Then because of that, I'm going for using the smart textile for occurring those ECG data that occur from the both smart textile to do the biometrics. So then that's why this our study is proposed by using ECG data that capture from the smart textile to do the biometric uh, towards the different psychological conditions, towards different time variabilities, and I'm also go further to test using 29 different machine learning algorithm to check for the robustness of our algorithm in performing a biometric verification, yeah, using smart textile. And for your information, till today, there for Hexoskin itself, in its database, it have almost more than 200 research regarding the use of Hexoskin shirts, and it and and as far as I concerned, there's no regarding specific on the ECG for biometrics.
Okay, so Muiz, we are actually focusing on three aspects, which we in the study. Number one is we want to see what happens if we have different physiological conditions, like for example, walking, standing, sitting, and uncontrolled condition. And number two is time variability. We take the data and then we take the data later. What will happen? We'll do some analysis. And number three, we tested all the data with multiple classifiers. And that's the focus of our study. We won't go to drowsiness. We didn't go to, pathological. We didn't go to other research. Maybe that would be other researchers to do. They can do research on that. Okay. Muiz.
So for that, the main goal of our study is to ensure the ECG-based biometric recognition using wearable smart textile to improve the reliability of wearable smart textile in supervised machine learning approach, which consists of three research objectives, which is to identify the issue related to the reliability of smart textile ECG-based signal for biometric verification. Then the second was to develop a smart textile ECG-based model for biometric verification to improve the robustness using machine learning classifier. And lastly, to assess the performance of the proposed approach with existing work by using certain parameter with the related work nowadays state of the art. And yes, as what has been mentioned by Dr. Azami previously, that for the framework of the biometric itself, it consists of four different stages, which starting from the data acquisition, pre-processing, feature extraction, and lastly classification. And we know that the biometric itself, the framework of the biometric is consists of whether it's an enrollment stage, enrollment mode, or in a recognition mode, which is the recognition mode itself is consists of whether it is identification or verification. In this study, in our cases, for this smart tester, we are using on the verification mode for our study. So as what we can see in the slide here is I'm putting all the for the different psychological condition, I'm using 22 subject wearing whether Hazoskin smart textile or Hartin smart textile and performing the data acquisition. And for the data acquisition itself, for the first figure above here in the data acquisition, we split the subject 11 for in control environment, and another 11 subject within uncontrolled conditions, which is within the uncontrolled condition is we assume that when they are wearing those smart textile, they are performing their daily lifestyle activities, and we assume that was our normal daily activities, and the data of their ECG was capturing in real time. But for the group B, whereas those 11 subject are required to perform certain psychological condition like standing, sitting, walking, slow walking for certain time periods, and the data was captured and was noted on the database. And for the pre-processing, yes, we acknowledge then when we are using two different brand of smart textile garments, there has been when we acquire the raw data itself is not compatible. Then we doing the normalization to ensure that both data are sitting on the same background to then we can do the pre-processing, the filter, the pre-processing. Then for the future extraction, then we detect the peak of the QRS of each ECG signal. After sampling, we detect the QRS of ECG signal. We detect the R peak. Then we detect the distance between the R peak to the Q and the S signal position. And for the classification, for the first stage, all the data was stored in the database as template. Then when we doing the recognition, the data we compare with the data previously stored in the database. So for the classification part, we are doing three type of experiment. First, for different data acquisition. Then secondly, on the different time acquisition effect on the subject. Yeah, so and another one is we are testing all the data with 29 machine learning classifier to to determine the best classifier that can capable of giving the best result for biometric recognition. And when we getting the best classifier, we doing the fine tune on the algorithm itself to boost the performance of the classifier. Next, Alhamdulillah, this is the finding of our research. Where the A part is when we determine the best classifier within the 29 machine learning classifier, the best classifier that can perform that can give the best result to our study data. Then we selected a few from the classifier to fine tune the classifier to boost the performance of a classifier itself. And for the B is the result when we doing the different psychological condition test. We put the data within 3 different scenario, and we test all the data from standing, compare between the test data and the test data and the and then classify data. So in standing position, sitting position, walking position, we test, and both in same psychological condition. In the scenario B, we test in different positions, whereas in the C scenario, we combine all the activities of the psychological condition of the subject, and we test towards one of the condition. And then for the C, we test the ECG data that captured from the Smart Textile for the verification, biometric verification, in 5 scenario, which is scenario A, B, and C are in daily routine activity, whereas the E and E is during the control activities. And we compare this data within training and testing, which is the scenario C itself is when we combine the data from the day 1 and 30 days after, and we test towards the latest data that we captures. So that was our finding in the C. So the next, I believe, in the next slide. So this is what the data. This is what the result we achieve, and we compare it with the state of the art of current study in our fields.
So the data in A, what is it, Muish? A and C.
So the A itself is for different psychological condition. We test with other state of art studies, and for C is when we compare our result with different time variability effects on other study. So for A and for C, only our studies Yi and Pro Baby for A number 37, number 40, and our study only 3 of us are using Smart Textile for biometric purpose. Else are using other type of wearable or portable devices.
Okay, so for C too, you do it for different time duration, eh?
Yeah, so different time variability effects on ECG data that captured from.
Okay, then you got an accuracy of 99.63, and as well as for the A, 97.4%. All right, thank you, Muiz. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So this, of course, is amongst our research that we perform on Smart Textile with due respect to different physiological conditions, to different time variability, and also in using different classifiers. Challenges, of course, of the biometric using Smart Textile is, of course, about the characteristics. So whether using ECG signal, whether it's permanent, whether it's collectible, whether it's universal. Okay, if we manage to make this biometric modality permanent, collectible and universal, it fits to become a biometric modality. Other challenges are like ethics and debate on acquiring and using human samples. Some countries, they debate on this, whether you can use human samples or not. And so some would allow, some would not. So these are the challenges for us to implement it in a large scale, because we still have this debate, because they would not allow. They say this is my sample, human sample. It's private. It's pribadi. It's not yours. It's mine. You have to take, some consent and so on and so forth. So still we have that law, regulating bodies in different countries. Some would say here this, some would say that, some would say a different narrative, and so on and so forth. Device itself, the power consumption and the battery life, because we're using a smart textile, we don't connect any wires to it, because it's there, and it will actually acquire the data without any wires connected to the garment. So there's issues of power consumption and also with the battery life. The way forward, what we see is this compact figure. If you're able to use ECG biometric, commercially, we would be able to recognize the armies or soldiers in battlefields. I'll give you an example. Let's say someone is wearing the garment, and the garment is, the purpose is for the soldiers to wear it. Number one is to detect whether it's your army or it's your soldier or not, compared to imposters, which would be a good way to know that maybe other people are pretending to become your soldier. That would be able to, make sure that they are on your side. All right, so you could use that in the military, as well as, of course, this smart textile will be able to measure other vital signs. Like, for example, like as I wrote there in the previous slides, the temperature of your body, your heart rate, and so on and so forth. So we would know that whether the person, the soldier, is still alive or not, and using this smart textile. So in battlefields. Number two, we will be able to identify, for example, this is the way forward for biometric actually CG, not only for the government. We would be able to put the electrodes on the seat of the car and able to identify the driver. And just by that, we would know that it allows the car to ignite, and ignition will process will be allowed. Also in financial institution, we can replace fingerprints with your smart textile. You come into the bank, you just come, they just detect, and then it's you, it's Azami. Yeah. And patients in remote monitoring facilities, verifying passengers in airport terminals. So these are the possibilities, the way forward. If ECG biometric is there because this limitless, because we have this digitalization coming in, internet is very fast, connection 5G, so on and so forth. So it would actually enable this to be possible in the future. So of course, talking about the way forward, we have disruptive technologies like AI, and biometric would be, connected to AI, blockchains, cloud computing. So we need to actually leverage on these emerging technologies, because these technologies are there to stay. And you have AI, we have VR, we have robotics. So biometric would be, hand in hand with all these other technologies to complete a system. And of course, multimodal biometric is the way forward. Yeah. What is meant by multimodal biometric? It means that we use more than one type of biometric. For example, we would go for ECG and EEG. We would go for fingerprint and ECG. So that's how we secure the system. And later, seamless biometric is the future. If you have ever read World Economic Forum document, emerging trends, I think they publish it every June every year. And in 1 year, if I'm not mistaken, 2022, they published that biosignals will be the future. For example, now people are talking about using your brainwave to control a device. Okay, I came back 2 weeks ago. I came back from a competition, IEEE Systems Man and Machine. I think Mans and that conference in Sarawak, Kuching. I was there with my students. We actually entered the hackathon using our brainwave to control drones. Okay, Alhamdulillah, we managed to get number 1, first place, bringing a prize of 3,000 USD. So we got that by just we're using our brainwave signals to control drone. It was not perfect, but it was enough to actually satisfy the judges. So that's the way forward. Biosignals is the way forward. According to the World Economic Forum document, it says in the nth future. Nth mean we do not know when, but it is there. Even in the MOSTI document, Ministry of Science and Technology and Innovation of Malaysia, if you go to the My STI document, there it also mentions that biosignal is also coming to become the future technology, which can be able to use in agriculture, in healthcare, in financial, in military, and so on and so forth. So if you want to know further, you go and read those documents. Of course, the goal is to enhance, improvise, improve biometric technology. And this is the way forward. And also we have another big topic, which is also another PhD by itself, which is biometric template protection or biometric template security. This is another PhD by itself. So how we would want to actually protect the biometric from falsification. And finally, we have some reflection. So gaining confidence among the user is a vital issue. Pivoted to the aspect of functionality, security, and convenience. As long as these aspects are not spotlighted, the longer ECG biometric would only become a component of research. So we have to actually gain confidence, such as, for example, like fingerprint. So fingerprint now is used everywhere. So if we don't have the convenience and aspect of functionality, such as security, people would still rely on fingerprint in years to come. So but of course, we know that fingerprint is the first generation, and we know that second generation of biometrics would provide more better security and so on and so forth, and convenience. So the potential of second generation technologies such as ECG are remarkable. And this is my word for today. My sentence for today. Okay, assistive technology such as biometric or whatever devices is always the means and never the ends. Okay, for example, now you have ChatGPT. ChatGPT is not the ends. It will be only the means. You will have more other types of technology. Now we have Gemini, we have Bing, we have so many AI assisted technology now. So it never the ends. So in Islam, Maqasid Ash-Sharia, among other, emphasizes the preservation and protection of the life and the property. So it means here, whatever you do it ethically. No, not do some technology for destruction. And SDG also, we have SDG number 9. We, do for industry, innovation, and infrastructure, which is, the 17 SDGs. It involves inclusivity. And in IUM also, we have this Sejahtera academic framework where we include humanizing technology. So publication based on this research, we have 3 conference papers published, and we also have 3 journal papers published. Scopus. And we also won a few competitions, 3-minute thesis competition, first place in the university, and we went to the national level. But however, I think we did not manage to get national level as the participant kan, Muiz. And the next year, 2022, we got second place. And also we got first place in the postgraduate colloquium 2022, and first place in the 3-minute competition in 2023. So this is all concerning this topic that we presented today. So I think with that, syukran, thank you, terima kasih, assalamualaikum. So we are ready to accept any questions from the participants. Thank you.
Hello. Could I ask some question?
Please, Mr.
What's the fingerprint when you said static iris? Is that means the retina? They look at the retina.
Iris is at the back. Iris is this front. Iris. They look at the you have to have a camera, and you have to device the camera, and they will take the image of the iris.
Okay, but normally there is a distinct signature of each person. It has different. It's just like fingerprint, isn't it? Now, when you come to the heart signal, the ECG, it's only upper or lower, or there are distinct signature there when you measure.
Okay, like retina, you have this, like the blood vessels, kan, retina.
Correct, yeah.
Iris is the, that eye pupil of the eye, kan. So for ECG, you would go for the PQRST wave, that morphology. We call it ECG morphology, and from there you will be able to distinct one person to the other person.
What about this is biological, but what about the guy have went through an operation, heart surgery or something? Would that change, or it's always there?
It is always there. It is always there. But of course, as I said just now, we did not cover the pathological condition. Pathological would cover the heart disease, maybe covered by other researchers. Muiz, you have a answer for that? Heart disease?
Currently, doctor, I have no information regarding the pathological condition. So far, my scope of study are using the health subjects.
Healthy subject. So it's a good question by Mr. Homin sebenarnya kan. If you have some operation of your heart kan, what will happen to biometric? Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
It's the same as if you use the same question for your brain wave lah. Let's say you have a brain operation as well, kan? What will happen to you? Yeah, that's a good question lah. That's a question that we can do for PhD, another PhD.
Prof, I've got a question.
Please, Mr.
Now,
Sungguh.
in 2021, you spoke about brainwave technology, emerging trends and challenges.
Yes.
Then in 2022, you spoke about heart signal for biometric recognition. And today you're speaking about electrocardiogram. How will you compare the three? Which is the best?
It depends on the application. Actually, the second and the third, which is today, is the same signal, but differently measured. The first one, the second one is measured directly using that Holter diagram, Holter monitoring diagram. You have this electrode connected to your chest. And the third one, which is today, is measured using your Smart Textile, which you don't need those electrodes. You wear it. Of course, It's a good question, Mr. Sugo, because if you use the smart textile, you would have interference. You would have some, you know, like for example, noise artifacts of the signals. Rather than the second one, where you would connect it straight away to directly to your body, and you would get more accurate signals. This is just to make things convenient. And of course, when you do something, there are limitations, there will be advantages, there will be disadvantages.
Okay. You need to wear a special apparel at all times for this to be effective, right?
Yes, true.
Okay, now, how safe it is? You have electromagnetic waves and static electricity and all. Health hazard?
Moise, I think it's yours to answer, Moise.
All right.
I want to answer. I want to
Thank
hear
you,
his answer.
All right. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Mr. Sugumaran. Actually, both smart textile, both garment. One is the hazard skin itself. The hazard skin itself is commercially available, sold and currently are used by the if I'm not mistaken, European Aerospace Agency, and they are using this type of hazard skin, they're known as the astro skin, tested on their astronaut on their space shuttles. Then there has been so many research regarding these garments, and the garment itself, the electrode, if previously if we are using the clinical ECG machine, they are using all the gel type that put on the body of the patients. But for this wearable, they're replacing the gel type of electrode with the special fabrics type of electrode, which is doesn't need using of any gel to as a buffer within the patient body and the sensor itself. It's only the fabrics. The more wet the fabric get from our body, then the better the performance it will show on the data.
Yeah, that part I understand. What about the electromagnetic waves? Does it produce?
So as far as I'm concerned, the data that I'm getting, the only noise that I'm getting is on the EMG itself, the movement.
EMG, yeah, right.
The EMG. But I'm
Is
not
it hazardous?
any on other type of noise. Usually the main concern, the main challenge for the wearable, for the textile is the EMG, the movement of the person.
I think what we shared just now in his presentation, we have around 200 research papers using exoskin. From those papers, which we have not heard of this issue yet. Or maybe they have not studied it.
Studied it. Okay. Yeah.
Another PhD.
Yes. I'm definite there is some kind of waves. Otherwise, you can't communicate.
There is wave, of course. Yes. There will be waves.
Now it is the degree of hazardness of these waves.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Sugu.
There is a question there in the message by Arif. Muiz.
This is from Arif, yeah.
Dr. Arif.
In this case, I see that they can just put on the garment.
No, the other thing, this to be effective, you got to wear this apparel at all times, right?
Yeah, because the sensor itself, the textile sensor itself, is embedded within the smart shirts, the smart textile. Yeah. So yes.
Now you're talking about shirt, or you're talking about a jacket or something like that?
Both the hazard skin and the hard in is both a t-shirt type.
T-shirt.
Yeah, a t-shirt type of smart of textile.
Exoskin too, I think you can have a jacket version. Kan? For the hard in, it's like a t-shirt lah. It's like a it's like inner shirt. Inner shirt.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
No, there's question there. Muiz, you have to answer. Someone is asking.
Sorry. Okay. There's a strategy
Strategies to overcome.
that can apply special kind of organization technique when wearing this matter. In the case we could not get the right ECG signal from the person, ECG to overcome the imposter that can apply special kind of relaxation technique when wearing the smart textile. In the case we could not get the right ECG signal from the person. The smart textile thing is so for Muslim.
Arif, can you rephrase that question? I think Muiz doesn't understand. Arif, can you speak, Arif?
Unmute, Arif, unmute. Okay.
Yeah, my kids here. Actually, I'm asking about is there any strategies for the subject that we that they can apply special kind of breathing techniques to improve their activity?
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Arif. Alhamdulillah. That's why one of our experiment towards this ECG biometric using smart textile is one of it is a different psychological condition tested within the different psychological condition. One of the condition tested is in relaxation state, which is we what from the result that we occur that we getting that yes, when the person is in more relaxed condition, the data are more the raw data are more clearer and more easier to be differentiate. And for ECG itself, whether you are doing any activities, whether you are in standing, walking, running, slow jog, or whether you are lying or sitting, the ECG, yes, there has been variation of the noise. We acknowledge the noise, but the QRS, the main QRS 3 point of our ECG signal is still the same. And by using that knowledge, that point of QRS, then a person can be identified and verified. Mr. Arif. Dr. Arif, yeah.
So from QRS pattern, is it?
Yeah, by using the QRS in the ECG.
Understood.
Yeah. So whether the person is in a relaxation mode or whether the person in working mode are non-relaxed, then the ECG is still maintain the same pattern.
Oh, the fabric you're talking about, look at the apparel. Is it heavy?
No, it's very light shirts. And even the Hut-In itself, he claimed their device itself, the what we call is it's not the cheapest, the paling ringan sekali yang ada.
Okay. The apparel is available now, right?
Yeah, both apparel are available and can be purchased online towards their.
You have tried it on?
Yeah, for sure. When both the apparel come to Malaysia, then I'm the first person tested it.
Oh, okay. It's not cumbersome or anything, right?
Yeah.
Comfortable, huh?
Yeah, they're because both government are used for commercially, are sold commercially. Then both are very the Hazel skin itself is like a athlete wearing when we're jogging, they're very comfortable for jogging, for cycling, that kind of type of
material. Okay. Any other questions, please? Homin?
Sorry that we didn't get so many crowds, but anyway, all the CNET webinars will be placed in the CNET website, and people can see it.
So one more chat there. What is it?
Okay, I don't have any more questions. Thank you very much. It's a very interesting talk.
Very, very interesting. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Omin and Mr. Sugu.
Okay. There's none. Thank you, Professor. We've
you.
now come to the end of the program. Now, before we try, could you have a group photo? Dr. Ajina? You're muted. Okay.
Okay, let's try. Right. One.
Farah. Okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, done.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you all for participating in today's program and for making this a success. Hope all of you have marked your attendance and filled out the survey forms. Till we meet again, thank you again to Dr. Khairul Azami and Muiz. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Dr. Khairul, would you be sending me the PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah. Sure. I can.
Okay.
Sure,
Thank you.
sure. I'll email you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum, Rajana.
Thank you so much for your time. Very interesting. The third one.
Third one, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Brain wave, heart wave. Now is cardio.
I have more, but then it's okay, like give someone else.
Your
Iris,
timing.
I have Iris.
Okay.
later.
Okay. Next
Give
one
someone
maybe
else.
Muiz may present it. Or
Okay.
Arif.
There's another, yeah, Arif can, Arif.
Arif can, huh?
He
Okay.
also can. I will give you his contact number.
Okay. Thank you.